When Rick and Morty first aired in 2013 on Adult Swim, it quickly excited fans with the titular grandpa and grandson's intergalactic and interdimensional misadventures that spanned each episode. Between the crude, yet clever humor of each mind-boggling exploit and the surprisingly touching moments between family members, the show delivered entertaining tidbits that were easy to sink our teeth into. However, Season 7 saw many changes that fans were worried about, including the exit of Rick and Morty's original voice actor, who was replaced by Ian Cardoni and Harry Belden, respectively. Season 7 also emphasized the canonical storyline a tad more than we've seen before, leading fans to wonder if the show was shifting away from its one-off misadventures. Rick and Morty Season 7 sees Rick ruthlessly hunting down Rick Prime, who had killed his wife and child, where we witness a pivotal confrontation that deeply impacted Rick's relationships with his family, who questioned Rick's single-minded obsession. The finale also ends on a transformative note for Rick and Morty's relationship, as their psyches are unraveled when they fall down the fear hole, forcing Morty to let go of his fear of being replaceable. For this review of Season 8, Episodes 1, 3, 4, and 5 were provided, with each delivering a self-contained adventure more in line with the show's overall history. Ricky and Morty Season 8 still nails its comedy and absurdity. The 4 episodes provided for review each center on a different Rick and Morty escapade, from an intergalactic safe heist to discovering the strange secrets behind Easter. As such, we can't confirm how much of the season will integrate the canonical storyline, even though Season 8 is jumping off from the most serialized season yet. Interestingly, it also doesn't seem like Morty's revelations in the Season 7 finale have impacted the central duo's dynamics. They still provide plenty of bickering, quips and laughs to satiate any fan. Rick and Morty's episodic exploits have always been the perfect way for their writers to crank out absolutely farcical ideas, and this season is no different. With the sharp eye of co-creator Dan Harmon still at the helm, the tone, pacing, and writing of each episode are still taut and addictive. We tumble into each inane narrative beat furnished with a satirical and comical script, making every moment as enjoyable as the other seasons. That being said, it's all territory that the show has covered before, and while it can feel repetitive, there is something to be said about don't fix what isn't broken. The show sticks to a formula it knows will succeed, and this works in Season 8, even as it brings back previous ideas of the cloned Rick and Mortys. In one episode, there is an attempt to rebuild the Citadel, where all the multidimensional Ricks ruled. This semi-recycled concept brings along a string of sick action sequences and casts light on the Rick-Morty dynamic in a different way, which was engaging in its own right. Subsequently, even though none of the potentially serialized episodes were in those provided for review, the quality of these episodic ones bodes well for how the canonical storyline may be treated. Rick and Morty Season 8 shows us different sides to the characters. Although these 4 episodes in Rick and Morty Season 8 don't necessarily stray from the formula, they do continue to highlight different sides to each of the characters, namely Rick, Morty, Summer, and Jerry. In Episode 1, Summer of All Fears, Rick traps Summer and Morty in a world of his own construction, where we witness the consequences of surviving within the new environment and after returning home. Morty's and Summer's individual arcs and dynamics are placed at the forefront, providing us with an episode that feels more tonally sensitive and serious in comparison, although the storyline itself is nothing short of absurd. A similar mindfulness is taken with how Jerry and Rick are treated in their own respective episodes at the beginning of Season 8. Jerry finds himself at the center of an Easter conspiracy in Episode 4, The Last Temptation of Jerry, where holiday traditions are never the same for the Smith family. While this episode is by far one of the cruder, it paints Jerry in a new light, and it's always exciting to see him depart from his usual moping, generally incapable self. Meanwhile, both Rick and Morty are the focus of an intergalactic heist in Episode 5, Cryo Morta Rickver, where they try to rob a spaceship in cryosleep, which also results in a delightfully shocking side to Rick. Exploring different facets of each of the characters isn't new for Rick and Morty, but there does seem to be a stronger undercurrent of sensitivity to how their arcs are handled, with more scenes that elicit sympathy for them. Despite this slight tonal shift, Rick and Morty Season 8 can only really be described as consistent. It hasn't brought anything new to the table thus far, but also cannot be faulted for the quality of stories, humor, and emotion it delivers. Striking the balance between absurdity and heartfelt scenes while chucking in a truckload of hilarious satire and imaginative visuals, Rick and Morty continues to deliver its trademark addictive, cheap thrills that won't disappoint any longtime fan of the show.